What's up, everyone? This is Brandon from Top 10 Gamer, and today we're going to take a look at the new Diablo 3 patch 2.0 and what are my thoughts about this particular patch and everything else. I recently started playing the patch, and I have a few thoughts about not only how you can better your characters, but also make a little money at the same time. Now, if you've been playing Diablo 3, you know that that gold hasn't been worth that much for a long time. But as we can see, sorry here, gold is now worth $126.20 per billion. I myself have 900 million, but I've had a barbarian for quite a long time that has billions in gold, and although the items are billions of gold worth of gear, although his items are no longer worth very much compared to when I was last playing the game, I decided to put them all up and kind of see what I could get, because people are going to be interested in the game right now while they're trying to grind new gear. But as they get that gear, they're going to put their old gear up. So instead of trying to grind that gear for my barb, I took a look at the current builds that were available, decided that the wizard was much easier to do this with, and I would just sell all of my barb gear since it was worth more than the other gear that I currently had. Now, I've sold all my gems except for these four here, which were not really that big of a deal, and I've put the new diamond gems in all of the slots. And as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of my slots are now crafted, and I found these pants, and I bought this storm crow and these few items for just less than 20 million. I was able to snipe a few items last night. So anyway, I feel like I've got a pretty good deal on it, but for 20 million it seemed worth it to start a character right on Torment, where I could start grinding some gear that would help me progress through patch 2.0. Okay, so now let's jump into the game. I just want to talk about a few routes that I am now taking, as well as some other thoughts that I have. Now, some of you may be thinking, hey, why sell gold right now? It's been going up and up and up and up. Well, I think the reason you want to sell gold right now is because there's going to be a rush to sell it right before the game starts. Now, there also might be a rush in demand, so maybe you will see gold go up to $200 for a billion. I'm not really sure exactly what it's going to do, but in my opinion, at that pivotal point right before Reaper of Souls comes out, what everyone's going to do is they're going to rush the marketplace and try to get rid of gear. So there's going to be tons of gear on for cheap, right? And what people are going to really want is gold. So you're not going to be able to sell your gear for very much if you want to at the end, that's for sure. And as far as your gold is concerned, I just think the people that are trying to gear up there and are the most serious about the game are probably doing it right now. So, in my opinion, you want to sell your gold right now. That could change. Again, like I said, that's a disclaimer just in case I am wrong, and I've been wrong before too. That's another disclaimer. So, watch out for that. So here's my sorry, my wizard. I've been so used to saying barb for so long. You want to go with Electrocute Forked Lightning. It gives you, you get the critical hits for 4 extra charged bolts, and since you're trying to get Arcane Power on crit, that's really a fantastic spell. Here's Sparkflint Familiar. You get the extra damage. This energy armor Pinpoint barrier will increase your crit hit chance by 5%. Force weapon, again, another we're trying to get additional damage. Archon improved Archon. It's pretty cool. You can't last forever in Archon form, but now the more enemies that you seem to hit, the more power that your Archon does. And if you're doing a cursed chest or something like that, this is a fantastic skill to have, because it just gets more and more powerful while it's going. Now here's the skill that everyone's saying is overpowered, and I have to agree that it is. You do 400% weapon damage as cold, and that's pretty fantastic. Now there are a couple skills here that you're going to be looking at, and you're saying, hey, why does he have that? Glass Cannon. For me, I'm just trying to go really quick. I'm doing some runs now that aren't Torment 6 because I've decided that the trade-off just isn't worth it. I've chosen a Torment difficulty level where I can pretty much kill everything instantly, and that for me is Torment 2. Cold-Blooded scales really well with Arcane Orb. Paralysis works really well with Electrocute, but the reason I have this is actually because of an item that I have. If I were you, I would probably go with Blur, decreased damage taken by 17%. Okay? And when I do higher Torment levels, that is the build that I use. Now let's take a look at what I've got. I've got the Chantoto's Will so that I can get the intelligence bonus. I can get the APOC here. I can get 10 arcane power on crit. That works really well with the Chantoto's Force. I didn't get an APOC Chantoto's Force because that would have been really expensive. But I did get one that has increased critical hit chance of Arcane Orb. So something a little subtle there that may not show up in your character sheet damage that can make a really big difference. Now, I found a few items that were kind of game-changing for me. This Razor's Drop is a really nice one. Just a nice belt in general with nearly 300 intelligence. That increases shock pulse damage, which isn't going to help us. But the Health Globe explosion is actually pretty nice because, you know, when you're going for that Health Globe or when you get pulled into a boss, it explodes those health globes from the minions that you've killed, and a lot of times that will kill the enemies around the boss or champion or whatever, and it allows me to get away or have a brief period of time, or even kill the boss itself. So a really fantastic item there. You guys will find all kinds of new legendaries on your own that'll change your build and how you play. And this is one that has been better than I would have thought. Even better is this Haunt of Vaxo, which has 400 plus intelligence and vitality and incredible stats on it, and it shadows clones as I stun an enemy. That's one of the reasons I have paralysis on, because as I stun enemies, I summon shadow clones, which do a considerable amount of damage, cast spells like Twister and Arcane Orb and Slow Time, and really can make it easy to do a lot of damage very quickly. Okay, so everything else here I have crafted over time. I actually did this before the patch. This was a patch craft here, and this chest as well, and these bracers that do the cold damage, the extra cold damage, as well as these legs. And so now I'm looking to replace my Zuni set because I actually want to sell these items as soon as I possibly can, as well as I'm now going to sell my chest, my Zuni chest, as well as anything else I can that I can still sell because it's worth real money. You know, when we're talking about $100 per billion, you're going to go for it. I'm going to get Reaper of Souls free. Hopefully you do too. Now, now another cool thing about the patch is they turned all of your Tomb of Secrets into demonic essences. So I actually came on and had like 1,300 demonic essences, and I've used that to craft here and there just because it was fun, not because you should necessarily. But that's been a lot of fun, and something cool in the new patch is just how easy it is to craft and to get an upgrade. Now, what runs are people running? Well, people were doing chest runs where they'd go to Cathedral 3 and run back from Cathedral 3 to get to Cathedral 2 and find the cursed chest there. They do those in groups of 4. I believe that's been nerfed, but people are still doing that. They're doing the Coda run, which is the Crypt of the Ancients, also on Act 1, where you have to just pick the right quest for it, and then you can get the portal over and over to Crypt of the Ancients, which is probably the most right now the most experience you'll gain in an hour is by doing that just over and over and over again on whatever level of difficulty you can do, where you pretty much kill everything all at once. Now here's a run that I'm going to quickly show you for legendaries, which is basically just the core of Ariat. Now in the future it might be that they nerf runs like these by actually lowering the amount of legendary drops that you get and EXP that you get when you do the same kind of run over and over. But for right now, this is one of the best options out there if you're trying to gear up. Okay, so for this run, you're going to want to choose Kill Asmodon because as you go into the core of Ariat and go to the very end of that that map, you will get a checkpoint, and then you'll get a portal right to the end of core of Ariat. And it's actually slightly faster to run from north to south rather than from south to north. So anyway, you're going to want to do that because when you're talking about such a short round, every few seconds counts, and that's certainly true in this case. So let's jump in here. Actually changed the difficulty to Torment 1 just because I think overall, as I've said before, I've not seen a legendary difference. You can go through here a lot, a lot faster if you put it on Torment 1 than you can put it, and you can go through it on even Torment 2 and definitely even Torment 3. Most of these bigger kind of guys, I kind of skip just because they aren't worth killing, because one of the main things we're doing here is just trying to open all of the chests. There's a treasure goblin that spawns here as well, and it just ends up being a really nice run, really nice short run that yields a lot of legendaries. I've seen as many as 6 per hour. That doesn't mean that you'll get that every single hour, or that you'll average that, but anyway, that's a pretty good run, and that's going to get you a lot of loot. Again, Coda for the experience, Core of Ariat for the legendaries. That might get nerfed just as I'm putting out this video. Hope you guys are excited about Reaper of Souls. I certainly am. I'm also hoping that Blizzard can step it up a little bit when it comes to the in-game Reaper of Souls. We need a ladder system where that'll be reset constantly so people can actually compete for something. There's no real long-term motivation to stay, and that's why Diablo 3 has lost so much appeal. That's why 1 billion of gold was so cheap just a few months ago, and now it's well over 5 times the price you could have purchased it. So if you'd put all your money into that and flipped it that way, well, you'd probably have a lot of money today, assuming that you had enough to start with. I guess the rich always seem to get richer. Anyway, again, we need ladder. We need a PvP option, because that's gonna give me incentive to really go out there and grind the kind of gear that I need for that kind of situational matchup. Anyway, what do you guys think about the Diablo 3 patch 2.0, and what are you thinking about Reaper of Souls? Is it something that you're going to play? You can leave a comment in the description below. Also, if you like these kind of videos, please help me out by liking and subscribing. That helps out the channel a whole lot. It means that we can do more videos and more in-depth content when it comes to games and computer hardware. Anyway, like, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.